And I guess I'm live. Here we go. I think we'll start off with working on the Briggs tonight, because I do actually have valve grinding compound that I picked up at Napa. So put that up here. Good. I'm going to bring you guys up on here. We can hang out. There we go. Hey, James. Put that there. I've never done the valve grinding thing before, so I wanted to figure that out, you know? And I was trying it with something else, and I don't think it works so good. There, echo's gone. Definitely think I need the top of this flatter, though, or at least smoother. So let me think. It'd be so much easier with a new valve, actually. Because this one's got some pitting on it. Just want this to actually stick better to the suction cup, you know? Junk. There's too much stuff in here now. I actually did some cutting today. I know, surprise, surprise. And unfortunately, I don't have video of it because, well, it crappy signaled where I was cutting. Maybe that'll hold the suction cup a little bit better. 7 people here. Who's here? See, I've never done the valve lapping thing before, so if somebody happens to have a pro tip on it, let me know. Hey, Larry. Hey, Patrick. Larry, if you got a pro tip on this valve grinding stuff, let me know. Adirondack's not here. Okay, I'll ignore you. No worries. I've got this. You got these suction cuppy things. I'm going to put a little bit of grease on here just to enhance the suction cuppy part of it. This is the only compound that they actually had at Napa. Permatex water mix valve grinding compound. Stuff that I had before didn't feel like it was doing anything. But it definitely, it feels like you really have to use a super light touch on this. I've never done this before, guys, so... I was trying it last night with some polishing compound that I had, and I don't think it was correct. Pick up the valve every so often. Okay. Like, you don't want to press down. Really, you just want to spin the valve. And spin it straight, because there are errors that creep in, and you actually want to even out those errors. This is probably a lot like a telescope when they're grinding a mirror. If they use a machine to do it, the machine has a fixed set of errors, and they have to randomize the errors, and once you randomize the errors, it's actually more even. And this motor isn't going to the moon, so... I think we're getting somewhere, just... I don't know. Is there a particular point at which I know I'm good? You know? I don't know. Mike Salmon, Barry Reynolds, how's it going? Just lapping the Briggs. Yeah, I heard the sound change, but I'm not sure if the lapping compound just was out of the joint at that point, you know? And guys, I'm doing this for the first time, so if there's any tips, and Larry's been helping me out, which is great. But by the way, I missed Buckin's live cast today. I was at my folks, so I was there for a little bit of it. So if anybody's wondering, yes, I was there. Yeah, that's my my 660 clone. So I did like I was saying before, I did do some cutting today, and Dad and I did actually quite a bit. Thing is, this valve probably needs to go, you know, probably needs to go on a grinder, and I don't have one. So again, I forgot to do one. I need more Kleenexes over here. So let me get that. Two, I forgot to get more spray, more brake cleaner, which is out in the shed. Lovely. The real trick is going to be trying to get these darn things back in without having a spring compressor like Terrell had. I saw Terrell's video on this, and he had a sweet little spring compressor. See, the valve seat here looks like it's polished in one spot. I don't know if you guys can see that. As opposed to kind of not polished the rest of it. So I probably need to go a little more. See, now the sound has changed, but I think that's the grinding compound. Wah! The grinding compound had left, has come out of the seat or something like that. It looks like the polished area has gotten bigger. How's the valve guide? Is there any play? I don't think so. It really feels all right. Oh, there is play. Hmm. Hmm. Is that bad? Hmm. Hmm. Well, this is an experiment anyway. Doesn't matter. Hmm. What do you think, Larry? Is there no point with that much play? Is there no point in me lapping this? Should I even bother? Hey, William. See, I don't think it was smoking before. I don't. It just wasn't running. My dad said it just wouldn't run good. And it ran for years. You know. Hey, if I get a couple of years out of this thing, it's probably plenty. And I've spent nearly nothing on it, just some time, and got to hang out with you guys while doing it. You know. I may just leave it there. Just me being lazy. So win-win, yeah. Because if there's that much play, if it was something that you're repairing for someone else to do two different things, have the new guys install the new valves and replace the engine, yeah, that would make sense. I'm not selling this, so this is not for a customer. This is just something we're playing with at this point because my dad's wood splitter is now working again. He put another motor on it, so just grease up the valve guide here and go, I guess. Right. Whatever it is, it's going to be cleaner than when we started. You know? I'm just not convinced I'm ever going to get this thing back together because of the linkages on here. I don't think I remember where anything went. All right. Right, top dead center, right? So if I press down with this at top dead center, I cannot get my 4,000 shim in there. So I probably need a little bit more clearance. Proper grinder for this. This is not the way to do it, folks. It's the way to do it if you don't have equipment. Still can't quite get the 4,000s in there. 5 horse. That fits tight. Let's get it a little looser because you need a little more clearance on these, I think. High school memories. See? So I'm just going into where the breather, I guess, is and checking the clearance with a piece of Coca-Cola can. And that goes in nice at 4,000s. Okay. So now I have clearance on that. I guess I could put the spring back on there with this guide. So just wanted to show what I'm trying to do. So the spring pulls the valve down, and this needs to hold it on there. But getting this under the spring and then this and grabbed it, I'm gonna play a little bit here. So let's take that out. Let's get the spring in the right spot. This is where I need spring compressors and don't have them. So I'm literally going to use screwdrivers to bring the spring up here. Okay, so now that the spring is sort of in the right location, I can bring the valve down. Then I have to clip that thing over on the valve. And again, since I don't have spring compressors, it's not quite so easy. Let's rotate this down. Let's see if that helps. I'll bet that's going to help quite a bit, actually. These springs, they are a bugger and a devil and all that other stuff. Nope. It sounded good for half a second. That's down. This needs to go up and over. There. Ooh, almost. Think any second. Where's my other big screwdriver? Lovely. Nope. It disappeared. No, it didn't. It's right here. Should be able just to push it. That's up. That's up. Should be able just to push it. Almost. Oh, come on, guys. So that when you don't have the right equipment, you end up looking like me. I was seriously considering buying spring compressors for this. The same one that Terrell had. I just thought, well, let's see if I can get it without, because that really would be an accomplishment, I think. Nope. Over, up, over, down. Good. No. You just stick your tongue out, like this. What's the motor out of? This is a Briggs and Stratton 5-horse out of a wood splitter. Wood splitter. And this is something my dad had this splitter for years. And he's had it for such a long time, and it worked great for like ever. has to be lifted while it's flying. I wonder how it came out. So the valve has to go through the big spot here and effectively sit down in that little slot right there. 5 to 1. We have 5 to 1 odds, really? Okay. It might take me 2 hours to get this. You guys don't know. I'm gonna have it as low as... Where'd the spring go? Here's... The spring just flew out, but I don't know where it went. Where'd it go? It didn't go into my coffee. Oh, here it is. Pizza and wings. Good. You guys. Okay. There will be a technique, and I won't know it until the end, obviously. All right, let's pull the spring out again. Hang on. To get this metal piece onto, just so everybody knows. Okay, so the valve comes down and touches on, what is it, the push rods? Is it push rods in here? So the push rods are sticking up a shade. If they weren't sticking up, I think it'd be a whole lot easier to do this. All right, so this is that guide has got to go up. It's got to go over, or rather, it's got to sit on the push rod. Then the spring has to go up and over it. Or we can try it the other way. Driving me nuts. We'll get this out of the way. This is the breather gasket. See, if the push rod would just sink all the way down, it wouldn't be as big of an issue. You could then just slide this over and then bring the push rod back up. Nope, not that easy. Now that's over. Okay. Where that's at. So you guys can see in here, here's the push rod. There are 2 of them. So the two push rods. The spring is in over that adapter piece, the clip or whatever, and it's over the push rod. The problem is I've got to lift up that adapter piece and clip it onto this part of the valve. Which is why you really need a valve compressor tool. There it. Springs are too much of a bugger, and I need 3 hands, at least. Ooh. Ooh. Aha! We're higher. Now all I gotta do is bring this to the back. Come on. It's easier to do with my hands. No way. Is it? It's easier to do with my hands. I did it with my fingers. What do you think? Did I do it? This part is sitting up on the valve. I'm back. Sorry. Better, guys? Yeah, we're back. Oh, why is it showing that? There. Are we back? Is that better? Sorry. Okay. So the real trick here is I got to see if I can do better on the intake. So let's see if we can do a little better on the intake here. Don't worry, we'll get to the chainsaws. Top dead center, right? There. Obviously, bottom dead center is going to be where it's at. Got this here. ahead. Nurse Ratchet? Okay. Hey, Brandon. For those that are just joining, especially Brandon, I've never done this before. This is my first go at doing a valve job on a motor that, for all intents and purposes at this point, is probably considered junk because the valve guides are kind of worn. Well, like I said before, whatever it is better than it was. This is literally just me fooling around, so if anybody has any questions or comments or improvements, I'm here, Actually, Larry, you've been very helpful, so thank you. Per usual. It's funny, the surface just looks, where it's actually lapping, the surface looks evenly ground. Instead of polished like mirror finish, it looks kind of ground. Is that kind of how it's supposed to look? Or is that just because I'm using coarser compound? We'll get to saws. Everybody's worried about saws. We'll get to it. Put the grease on there. Actually, yeah, so let's do that, and we're going to check our clearance again. Yeah, I don't need a mirror finish on this. I mean, again, we're not going to the moon. Gonna check in here the clearance. And I've got at least 4 thousandths of clearance, so that's fine. Nice thing here is this bump actually indicates the opposite of where the hole is, so you know you just push and it will go, theoretically. If anybody's wondering, sitting there thinking, that Matt guy, he's at least a little bit clumsy. Yes, I am. And this spring is actually less firm. I know that Terrell actually used the example of using a spring from the exhaust on the intake here. Yep, there it goes with my bare hands. Click, done. So the intake spring is much much gentler. Yeah. So who had the money on me not getting it? What do you think? I know you had James. You were offering 5-1. I know. So who bet against me? That's the real question. I was just worried it was going to take me hours to get that. Okay, valve grinding compound. That I will likely never use again. Put it in a baggie and put it in my grinding bucket. Actually, I have a grinding bucket. Can you believe that? Can't tell me. Actually, there's a comment over here on my 394 video. A guy named Tools Pay Less. Guy named Tools Pay Less. Do a close-up of it. Does it dance? I guess he was asking if the 394 that I had for sale was vibrating a lot. And I don't think it's vibrating any more than any of the other 394s that I've had. But in general, I think the 394s are pretty smooth. But he was wondering. He said, "Let's see if it kills your hands." I'm like, well, the issue with the 394 is not it's not the vibration, it's the weight. They're big, and for me, I'm a very medium-sized guy, so it's significant. Anyway, back to live chat here. We're live. Okay. All right. So, what do I do next here? I think I put the head back on, right? Seems like, yeah. Mike, it was kind of a strange question because I was not sure whether he was digging my buildability or whether he was digging the saw itself, or if he was just wondering, like, is this a high vibration saw or not? I tend to think the 394s are pretty good to run, pretty smooth, like running a Cadillac, I think. But The thing is, if it's got a little extra pop, it might dance a little bit more, you know? But still, that's not the issue with a 394. The issue with a 394 is the weight. It looks like the valves are working. Okay, so this is one of those times when I really don't know what I'm doing. But we're going to put the head back on anyway. Use some anti-seize here on the head bolts. Let's have a look at the head. Now, I tried to keep all the bolts here in the correct order because some are more longer than the others. I mean, I could go in there and clean all that stuff out. What do you think, guys think? Should I clean all that carbon out? I have a bird. Indeed. Sharpie on the long ones. Yeah, I was just thinking that. Three long ones. This one here is funny, but I think I'll remember that. Well, James, it is you, but it's not the pain medication version of you. You know? All right, I'll clean it. Thinking about using the Dremel tool, but I can get most of it off with this. That'd be good, right? Oh, it's over there. am going to need my grinder here in a minute, so don't want to ditch that. No. Yes, I could mill this down and adjust the squish, literally, but no, I'm not doing that. Oh, great. Look like the Tin Man. You mean like this in my cup of coffee? I don't think I'm going to have any more of that. Okay, the head's not perfectly clean, but again, it's a whole lot better than it was. If I had the Bridgeport here and a new head gasket, I'd say yeah. But I don't have the Bridgeport here, and I don't have a new head gasket, so I'm not going to worry about it. Okay, the funny one goes here. Long here. Close enough for what I'm going for, anyway. Could certainly mill it clean, but, you know. Oh, wait a minute. I forgot about this piece. Sorry. Thank you for letting me know. Hang on. Well, what I was doing wasn't that important anyway, but yeah, okay. There. Got my head bolts on. This is where I break out the torque wrench. Hey, David. You're looking ahead in this world. That's bad. That's bad, Adirondacks. Hey, William. Hey, David. This is like 10 foot-pounds here. And I'm sure there's a proper order to this. Okay. Somewhere around 20 foot-pounds is what these usually go to, so. If anybody has a better torque spec for me on these. See what 15 foot-pounds looks like. 1, 2, 3. Jeez. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's 15. I don't know if I'm going to get him to 20. Anybody? There's 18. There's 18. The head gasket was on there already. I'm reusing it. I know, the horror of horrors. It actually wasn't torn, so figured I'd reuse it. Hey, Leonard. Leonard, I'm sorry. Hey, Tim. Yeah, Leonard, I'm sorry I didn't hang out with Billy Ray. I was at my folks at the time, and I was preoccupied with other stuff. I was intending to hang out a little more, but I got preoccupied over there. Is this ready to test? No. But the head went back on, so that's good. But I gotta admit, I'm at least a little bit intimidated with the rest of this thing. I'm gonna put the spark plug back in here, that way no junk gets in. No go-kart. Did I use 1184 on the head? No. The head gasket is there. It's a usual head gasket. This is not a mod build, anything like that. Nothing special here, guys. I literally just want to get the thing back together. And if it runs, I'll be super pleased. Should I put the breather back on? Probably, right? Put the breather back on at this point. Got the gasket here. 2 screws. They actually look like self-tappers. Yeah, Tim, you missed me working on the valves. I'm sure you didn't miss me that much, but yeah, I was doing the valves. It just wasn't running good for my dad on the splitter, so. And it ran good for like 15, 20 years. Just started to not run good. So Dad seemed to think it was the carburetor. Probably could be. The diaphragm was all stretched out. Any idea what year, decade it's from? I would guess late 80s, early 90s. I have the model somewhere here. I think the model is like 13022 or something like that. I don't know. 130212. 130212. Again, I'm doing that from memory, so be gentle with me. Okay. Yeah, it's probably on the cover over there. Confused is not cutting wood. Why is it not cutting? Okay, so there's a spring here. I know that spring is supposed to go on that thing. Probably up like that. And then no, probably down. Actually down. Because that has to fit there. Right. And then there's actually a couple of things here that I'm just not sure where the linkages go. There's two linkages. They probably go like the only place that they actually fit. So let's see. Oh, this goes here. Right, I remember that. And this linkage goes here. Yeah, okay. Right. I used to like tack those together. Okay, so that goes, it goes like that. Ignore that for the moment. Those come up that way. And I've got a bolt down here. Tank on, like a single bolt. There. That funny thing, I think. I got a battery, it's going to die on me any second. Great. I think that goes on like that. That's a good start, right? First two numbers in the serial number. Let's see. There's no numbers on here. There's no numbers on the gas tank either. I forget. Maybe the intake or the maybe the air intake has numbers. I have it written down somewhere. We'll get to it. Actually, what am I thinking? We need to do the carburetor before I do a whole lot more on here. So, right, we need to get to the carburetor. I'm thinking. Pull this thing apart, which I've already done. So this should be pretty straightforward, assuming that I have the correct carburetor kit. Alright, I know you guys can't see what I'm doing, so let's move that there. Better. Maybe not. Maybe I come down a little further. Carburetor kit for the saw. Yeah, do it a tad further. Carburetor kit for the saw, 495606. This is a genuine Briggs overhaul kit. Jeepers creepers. I am pretty sure I do not need all of this stuff, but I probably need that. The pump diaphragm most. So let's get that. There's a spring and a ring in here or something. Yeah. Roll pin there, guide pin. That's got to be it. So the original diaphragm was all stretched out and funky looking, so I don't see any other diaphragm in here, so that's got to be it. On the upside to this, I'm not going to find a spare circlip sitting around and then wonder. The only other thing on here that I see that I need to change is possibly this jet or this spring needle, which I probably don't even need to change out, but I don't even think I need to change that out. I can. It's what, like a turn and a half out, I think. Welch plug. I guess that's the jet, but I don't know how I would ever get that out. 1/2, 1/2. Okay. Probably need a gasket under this thing. I have no idea what gasket goes with this thing. Great. Okay, so the carburetors, what's this? Spring and Welch plugs and all kinds of other stuff. All right, well. Put that over there for a second. Get rid of all the junk here. Don't know what I'm going to do with these darn things. I know. I'll put them in my grinding bucket, just like I did with the grinding stuff. Whatever. Okay. Almost looks like that could come close. What am I missing here, guys? Please tell me I'm missing something. Am I missing something? There. That lines up. Do I double gasket this? Why would I double gasket it? Doesn't make any sense. The gaskets are already up against here, and they seem to be okay. So I need to find bolts that go there now. One. Two. Okay, but the linkages. Aha. See, this linkage needed to go in here probably first before I put those bolts in. All right. It's the order here that's key. But then how do I get that in there? Look at that. So I can get that there, no problem. Basically, I have to take the gas tank off and lift it up to this point, is what this is saying. There are gaskets on the motor. I have to lower this to the point where I can get this in. Okay. Now I can put this screw back in. Gentle like. Okay. That's right there. So the lower screws in. Turn this back around. There are two gaskets already on here, David. I am going to assume that I do not necessarily need to change them out. I can, but really in the mood. For sure, this feels like the pain in the neck that it was to take apart. You cannot get to this lower carb screw. Millimeter? Yeah, it's 10 millimeter. You actually, you can't, I mean, it's hard to get this on this top one here. And as it turns out, you can get it on here, which is cool. But they didn't make enough room on the top one to put a wrench on. There's one other thing, so I need to drop the tank again, but yeah, let me. There's one other thing that I need to do because there's a hanging down thing here that also needs to go in through the gasket. There's so many things that have to happen all at the same time here. That has to come down gentle. Oh no. Alright, let's take this spring off because that seems like an easy thing to do. Okay, so having that linkage on is important. Having this linkage on is important. Then I should be able to bring the tank up to it. Yep. Then this spring here on, I believe, the governor. Okay. Now the lower tank screw, finally. Not going to tighten it yet. Okay. So now we have tank screws here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think. Buffering. Battery die. Back. Okay. I don't know how much battery I have left on this phone. Sorry, guys. Yeah, so the screwdriver here, and then ratcheting wrench on this one, I think. So I'm going to tighten this one, and then see, since I can't really get this good with this, then it's going to have to be a flat blade, like you said. And that's not the best flat blade for that. The other big one, which is here somewhere, but it's laughing at me. Nope. That's it. Okay. Breather tube goes there. This looks like it goes over the breather tube and down into there. Be good if I had these lined up first. This one goes here, but the last one I think goes after that other assembly here. The throttle line just clicks in. Right here, it just pops right in. Yeah, it'd be nice to have like a cone wrench, 10 millimeter. That would be cool. Okay. This ground wire, don't actually know where it goes. And this went to a clippy thingy over here, which might be on the other thing. Anybody know where the ground wire goes? I think it might be under here, like here, because that's loose. I might have put it. Might go there. I think that's for, yeah, grounding things out. That would make sense, right? But I just don't know how it gets over there. Like that. Anybody? Ideas? I gotta assume that this is the ground here, but long as this doesn't interfere with that, right? That works. Gonna tighten the tank down. Good. Betting where this goes. Choke. Oh, I messed up one of the screws. One of these Phillips screws went down too quickly. Choke levers on. And this wire gets clipped into here. And it grabs. That might have done it. If only that was in the correct place. Here we go. Yep. Does certainly appear like that might actually work. How's that, guys? Oh, there's no gas in it, so I guess I got some old gas here I can put in, but Not so sure firing this thing up here in the house would be the best of ideas, you know. And those are not, those are captured, so. The lower ones and the top one are identical. Okay, good. I have no idea when my battery is going to die, guys, so hopefully I get 5 more minutes out of this. There was another shroud, this thing. This funny shroud. And this just is a bump, kind of. It just goes kind of click in here. One little screw. Okay. Now, exhaust. Sounds terrible. Just awful. Alright, where'd my anti-seize go? Here it is. This is why it's nice to have lots of attachments and whatnot. They've got little tabs on the exhaust here. You just bend over the nuts. One way or another, I don't think I'm going to go back into this. Maybe the carburetor if I needed to, but should have that on the Husqvarna 350s. Anyway, moving right along. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is a Brave log splitter. Yeah, but it doesn't have the 0391 JBL Gen whatever 0391. So it wasn't 2003 when Dad bought this thing. 91 makes more sense. $20 each, Adirondacks. It's a good point. Jeez, why didn't I think of that? Oh, come on. There you have it. My whole house is going to come unraveled if I if I do this. But that looks like it's pretty complete. I'm happy. I really didn't think. I mean, all the linkages in there worried the heck out of me. Yay! The pressure and vac tester, well, it's a midi vac, so I probably picked it up on eBay. Midi vac 8500 silver or something like that. It's really nothing super special. All right. All these other parts here need to go in a plastic baggie. I don't want the battery to die, so I'm going to switch it back. Yes, I know. Hook the spark plug wire on. All right, hang on. We'll get to the saws and the ground. Good enough. We know it runs. That's it. I'm. It runs. I'll call that good. Ugh. And you guys will too, right? Good. Okay. You're gonna make me do any more. Okay. Thanks. Thanks, guys. Okay. The lollipops in the dirt. I know. I gotta make you guys happy. I'm working. I really am. All right, here we go. What else? Well, let's throw this up there. Well, so let's see. Update here on. This is the 660 clone. And so the update on this is it's running pretty good. I did quite a bit of cutting today. I don't cut with this lots, but I did quite a bit of cutting today with Dad. Dad and I were out cutting maple, and this thing did really well. It starts a little funny. It's just a little funky to start and restart, but nothing to complain about. What did happen though is I rocked the chain. This chain is rocked. So oh, and these things do get a little loose. I was wondering. Yeah, the chains get rocked, oh well. It was running pretty good, too. It was definitely going just fine. It's a semi-chisel. It wasn't cutting as nice as my full chisel stuff, but it was still doing pretty good. And it was a shame that it got rocked. One thing, let's see, some of the mods I have on here. I have the Husky decomp. I'm pretty sure this is an OEM wrist pin and bearing. Those are basically, important mods. I did do the dual port muffler mod. That works pretty good. Although I didn't modify the muffler, I just put the dual port cover on. This is the highway dual port cover, and it works just fine. I don't really think I need to open it up anymore. I mean, obviously you can, The one thing that I am noticing is that the AV mount, the rubber AV mount, the main one that holds that's right next to the wrap handle, might be giving way. So just not really good longevity on that. So let's pull the barn chain off. I'm pretty sure this is the Mastermind cylinder head, the cross cylinder head, and it seems to be doing fine. You know, some guys have had issues with rings hooking on the exhaust, not on the floor but on the roof. So you know, you work over the exhaust floor quite a bit, and you forget about the roof. And this one is for sure a little screwy. So, or it can be a little sharp. What in the heck happened there? Something chewed that up. Wonder what. Weird spot. This is not the best bar. The tip looks kind of funny. But, you know, it's a 28. It does work. It was pretty cheap. If I can, I'll upgrade it to a Sujihara. But I'm in no particular hurry because I'm not, you know, I'm not using this saw tons anyway. Not using any of my saws tons. So yeah, so right here, the main AV mount here looks like it's kind of giving way a little bit. So it looks like that's a tad loose. So got to go through it, make sure the bolt's tight and all that jazz. That's better. But, you know, it starts, it runs, good power. You know, a little heavy, but that's 660. Kind of to be expected there. And unfortunately, this broke, but this is the original starter. I know that Waltz had issues with the original starters, but just this thing broke. But other than that, it still starts, and this is pretty high compression. So, all right, let's put that down. Yeah, the wraparound bar is actually a Farmer Tech part, and I got that. I know that the original Farmer Tech half wraps bend, at least according to Walt. So I never really tried them. I just put the full wrap on there, mostly because it looked cool, and I like it. You know, it worked for me. It works good. I don't need to do a whole lot of flush cutting, so you know, I don't worry about it. And this is that other rock chain that I have on here. We can work on that later or some other day. Yeah. Work on this some other day. The the other updates. So I used the 660 today, and that ran pretty good. The idle's a little low. I got to tweak with that a little bit, but other than that, really pretty good. The as-is chainsaw ran great, great power, and overall ran really good. But I rocked that chain too. And then I've got the other saw that you saw me put together not too long ago, the other 372, which was the big bore, ran really nice, but it started starving for fuel. And I think because it's got the Chinese tank on it, I think it's a Chinese tank, I think the tank vent just can't keep up with the fuel because it starves for fuel and you wait a minute and then it runs fine. So I think the tank vent is having a hard time keeping up. So I just need to install a different tank vent on that saw. So, should I bring you guys back over here? What do you think? You know what I can do? If you guys want to come over here close and look. Hang on a second. Pause. How's that? Let me go get my battery for my other saw, for my other phone. Hang on 1 second. Just gotta get my battery. Battery. Need a place to sit. Too many saws around here. Okay. There we go. Beep. Okay. Still a little low. There we go. How's that? Better? Oh yeah. That's better. That might be just enough there because I think I have furred files, Hybrid. I'm just doing this because this is a pretty rock chain and I need to remove quite a bit quickly. I normally hand file. Take care, James. Feel better, buddy. Yeah, this removes more material quickly just because I really need to grind this back to get rid of the peen, you know? Cutting stickers now, then painting ends. Nice. On a chain like this, I might take the grinder to it to remove a lot of material and then go back and hand file to touch up, you know? Drying lumber is quite a task, I'll tell you what. The funny thing is, stickers always seem to be an afterthought for me, but they're really important. Take care, Leonard. I'm sorry I didn't come on to see more bucking. I was on for a bit, but not long enough, so... Sorry. Take care, hybrid. Am I going to put the chain on the Briggs? No. Actually, my saws are probably more powerful than the Briggs. It's funny. Yeah, it's 8:45. I should go. Yeah, this is gonna take me a while, and I need to go spend some time with the family. So, and I gotta chill out a little bit before, before I go back to work tomorrow. But I do have a 3-day weekend coming up. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. David, I'm gonna put your oiler in the mail as soon as I can. I don't know if I'll get to the post office Monday, Tuesday. Monday or Tuesday, I don't know. Wednesday, if I can get it in Wednesday, I do get out early Wednesday. So that's the best possibility for me getting it in the mail. So what else? I definitely want to mess with that tank vent situation with that other saw. So we'll definitely play with that. Will it be live tomorrow? Yeah, I can probably go live tomorrow. I get off at least a little bit early tomorrow. So I'll probably come live tomorrow. Maybe we'll finish this chain, and if we can, maybe we'll get a chance to fiddle with that that tank vent issue and see if we can get that fixed. So, what else? Anything else, guys? Tools questions before I head out or anything like that? Take care, Edwin. Still waiting for Brandon to give me the go-ahead on that 394. Red Runner, take care. All right, everybody, be safe. If you need to email me, obviously you can email me. You guys have a great evening and all that fun stuff. So we'll probably see you tomorrow. Okay? Take care, guys. Have a good night. Night all. Thanks.